tonight's event is an informal question and answer session between you, the citizens of Boone County, and you, the candidates appearing on the general election ballot. Members of the audience are encouraged to ask questions. You may do so at one of the microphones stationed at the bottom of either bleacher aisle, or you may submit your written question to the table at any time during the event, and the moderator will ask the question on your behalf. Your question may be addressed to the candidates of a particular office, to a particular candidate, or to all candidates if the subject matter is appropriate. Candidates, you will have 2 minutes to answer your question. Should you refer to your opponent either explicitly or by inference, your opponent will have 1 minute for a rebuttal. Please be attentive to the timer. Moderators will ask questions if there are no open questions on the floor from the audience. By way of introduction, I'm Rob Nelson. I'm a registered unaffiliated or independent voter, and I live in Julian, which is in the 22nd Delegate District. And now my colleague.
Good evening. My name is Joe Linville. I reside near Danville, and I consider myself an independent conservative when it comes to politics. I'm very active in my church and the community and serve in various capacities, and always striving to support what is best for our area citizens. Let's keep the discussion civil and respectful. Audience, please no cheering, jeering, or other outbursts during the event. This will ensure that our event and our 2-hour time slot is fully utilized to compare and contrast candidates and the issues. We ask that you hold all applause until the end of the event, except for, of course, right now. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our candidates for the elected office in this 2016 general election. I will serve as the official timekeeper for this evening's event. When you have 15 seconds remaining, I'll just give a quick raise of the hand just so you know you're starting to run short on time. When you have 5 seconds remaining, I'll just give you one of these. And then once you run out of time, I'll do that. And if you keep on going, we'll figure that out on time.
You'll do that again.
All right, let's get right to it. Candidates, in no particular order, each of you have 2 minutes to make an opening statement. And we'll just start over on this end and work our way over if you want to. If you and just introduce who you are, what office you're running for, and give us a 2-minute statement.
I don't know if I need a microphone, though. Can you hear me pretty good? Very good. I'm running as an independent. I have never been an affiliated party. I've never been a politician in my life. Never intended to be a politician. When I take a good look around Boone County and around the United States and I see my people hurting, I see them losing jobs, I see them losing homes, I see them losing hope. It's because we've lost our way somehow. We've lost track of who we really are. Every government official takes an oath to uphold the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the state of West Virginia. The Constitution of West Virginia declares plainly that the Constitution of the United States, the laws and the treaties made in pursuance thereof, is supreme law of the land. You've lost your ways in law. It's whatever law they tell you anymore, isn't it? And you don't know the answer, when the answer's always been there. You've got rights, because when you take an oath to uphold this Constitution, and you pay someone's wages, their benefits, their perks, their pensions, that makes a binding contract, called a quid pro quo contract. We need to hold government responsible for your livelihood. That makes you master. That's why I'm running. You notice my signs, it says as a servant, not as a master. And that would be my total responsibility running as assessor for Boone County, to take you back, to make you a lawful owner of your property.
What is your name? You didn't say your
Rusty
name.
Kinzer.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, thank you all for being here. My name is Michael Moffett. I'm current delegate for the 22nd Delegate District, which represents Putnam, Lincoln, Logan, and Boone counties. I first ran for office in 2012 and actually won the office in 2014. And what got me into it was not some lifelong dream of being in politics, but I got tired of seeing guys running on my ballot who couldn't find a main street in my town on a map. They didn't show up, and look around, I'm not here again. They didn't show up to events, they didn't come out, they weren't involved. A delegate is supposed to be involved, supposed to be hands-on, is supposed to be out meeting the people, representing the people. Had many town halls, had many interactions. I always say there's a fair function of festival going on in my district, you'll see me there. That a delegate should be involved in the community. Last time I was in the gym, we were discussing teacher pay, and that was a disaster for Boone County, the cutting of the pay. But I am proud that I led the way to make sure that the teachers were paid last summer, because when the government gave us a bill, and it looked like a bailout bill, we all said, well, we're not going to bail out Boone County. There's all kinds of counties that need to be bailed out. It turned out it wasn't a bailout, it was due to bankruptcies, it was a legal reason. I came down, talked to the sheriff's office, did the investigation, talked to the school board, brought them up to the Capitol, sat down with Republicans and Democrats alike, and we got what appeared to be a dead bill, alive, moved through the House and the Senate, and the teachers got their summer pay that they had already worked for and deserved. It's things like that that make me want to keep going and going. We have a lot to do with education, we have a lot to do with trying to improve our economic climate in the state so we can attract more jobs, and I think I'm ready to do it. So thank you again. My name is Michael Moffett, and I'd love to hear your vote anytime from now until November 8th.
Thank you very much. Can you hear okay? I get feedback with these microphones. If you can hear me, that'd be great.
There's some people recording and they requested microphones so that everybody can hear.
Good to know. Thank you very much. I hope this doesn't get too loud then. My name is John Buckley. I came a long distance. I dressed for comfort. I live in Hardee County, so given time to stop for gas and get something to eat, took me about 5 hours to get here, and I appreciate this opportunity to chat with you all. I'm running for the statewide office of Secretary of State. There's 6 statewide offices to vote on this year, and I am not a Republican or a Democrat. I'm running on the platform of a third party called the Libertarian Party. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. It's a political party. It's the third largest in the state. It's still very tiny. It's a political party that believes in very small government and individual liberty. I think the office of Secretary of State is tailor-made for someone with my background. Independent of the 2 major parties, as Secretary of State, I would be the chief elections officer of the state. And I think it's very important for a job like that to be in neutral hands, to make sure that our election process is fairly administered, inclusive of all candidates. Frankly, I think it ought to be a nonpartisan job. It should be elected like judges are these days, no party affiliation, because it's the chief elections officer. And in our democracy, it's important that everyone feel that we've had a fair election with nobody's thumb on the scale, influencing one side to the disadvantage of the other. Now, I am a candidate of a political party, but my party's so small, the 2 main parties are the competitors. And I would be, I think, the best neutral in between. I have a background as a lawyer. I know that's terrible. I have a background as a legislator. Years ago, in my 20s, I served in the legislature in Virginia when I lived there. And I've been the administrator of the federal court. So I think those give me the qualifications to do the job, but more especially, I think I'm well positioned to be a neutral independent on this job. Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Zach Maynard. I'm from down the road in Hart Street. The reason I got out to run, well, I'll tell you some more about my history. Played a lot of basketball games in the student. A lot of tough battles, and it was really good to be in the community at Scott, Madison, Stanford. The reason I decided to take the time to try to, get out here and run my campaign and run for political office, because I've seen the decline of the quality of life that we we've had down here. The teachers are underpaid, people are losing their jobs. It's just a real bad depression. But I also think that we have the best people in the world right here in southern West Virginia. You know, I keep on thinking about my dad when I was younger. He said, you know, just work hard. Whatever you do, work hard. Just keep on doing it. Well, you know, a lot of people in my generation, in Boone County, Lincoln, and Logan, they work hard, and they try, and they still get nowhere. A lot of politicians will tell you, hey, you know, let's bring our kids back, let's bring them all back. Well, let's think about the ones that are still here today. You know, the track has nothing, poverty is a very big problem in our district. That's a little reason why I'm on. But for me, I graduated from West Virginia Tech with a bachelor's degree in business management. I came home, had a job with a coal company. Well, the coal company went bankrupt, and there goes my internship. Everything I worked really hard for. So now I'm a substitute teacher. And, you know, if it wasn't for the Board of Education, I probably wouldn't be getting paid right now. But other than that, that's why I'm passionate about education. That's why I'm passionate about getting people back to work. That's why I'm passionate about keeping on retaining values in District 22. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Matt Desch, and I'm running for the United States Congress. And I'm coming here to Boone County to humbly ask to be your voice in Washington, D.C. I'm from Greenbrier County, which is very, very far away. And at times, I'm sure that Boone County and Greenbrier County probably seem like they're places that are very far apart. But I can assure you that, you know, when we both go to sleep, we probably say the same prayers. And when we wake up, we as West Virginians are facing the same challenges. We're concerned about jobs in our economy. We're concerned about our education system. And I would venture to say that probably everyone in this room has somehow been touched by the drug pandemic that is crippling our entire state. Now, I will tell you a little bit about myself again. I'm from Greenbrier County, 10th generation West Virginia, dating all the way back to more than Northern. I served with the United States Secret Service under 2 different presidents from 2 different parties. I hope that will tell anybody here is that I'm a person who can see beyond the party lines to do what's best for my country and to get a job done. I also have an A rating with the NRA that I'm very proud of, and I'm the grandson of a West Virginia coal miner. Now, I'm in this race because I believe that what we're seeing right now in Washington, D.C. is not a voice of our people. It's a voice of outside interests. It's a voice of 2 billionaires from Kansas that are coming in and telling an empty suit what his marching orders are. People from outside of our state have looked at West Virginia's 3rd District, its southernmost district, and said that area can be bought. We can buy that seat in Washington so that we can have influence on the rest of the country. And it doesn't matter if you're a Democrat, a Libertarian, or a Republican. It's important that we get this seat back. So when I look at this state and at this race, we are all in this together. We must all fight to get our seat back. Now, it looks like I am running out of time, but let's go to the polls. Let's take our seat back. Let's put it back in the hands of the people. May God bless America. God bless West Virginia. May Mountain Ridge always be free. My name is Matt Desch, and I'm running for the United States Congress.
Thank you very much. Joe, Rob, thank you so much for putting this on. Ladies and gentlemen that are here and candidates, I appreciate you taking the time to come out and hear what the issues and talk about. I think that says something about your character. My grandfather, who happens to be here, used to tell me that a good person will never find enough good things to get into, and a bad one will never get into anything. And I think this says a lot about your character that you hear. My name is Joshua Nelson. I'm running for Boone County Commissioner for one reason, because I'm an organizational leader, and I think that our county commission is absolutely failing. I'm here, and I look at this as an interview, and I want to tell you about my background. I spent 5 years of my life as a non-commissioned officer in the United States Marine Corps. I was a combat engineer and saw machine gunner. I'm also a C-130 Hercules pilot with the West Virginia Air National Guard, and I hold the top secret United States security clearance. I graduated from Liberty University with a Bachelor of Science in Aeronautics, and 5 weeks from now, I'll graduate from the University of Charleston with a Master's in Business Administration. I'm carrying a 4.0 GPA. I own a couple of businesses. I live right here. My family's been here since the American Revolution, literally. I will take a little longer to tell you about my plan in more specific detail as time goes on, because I know this introduction is very short. and I'm open to any and all questions, whatever they may be. And as this is a job interview, I do think it's important to note that it's important to show up and answer the hard questions that you as citizens have. And again, I look forward to answering them. Thank you very much.
Hi everyone, my name is Ann Erling and I'm your Republican nominee for state treasurer. I grew up in Harrison County. My parents are both educators. My grandfather was a coal miner. I live in Charleston now with my husband and 2 of my 3 children. My oldest son lives out of state with my 7-month-old grandson. And as you might imagine, that isn't working very well for me. We need to get him back into West Virginia. I had never considered running for public office before, and I was actually in church one day and was approached by one of my husband's friends who had run for a statewide office. And he came over and asked me, he said, "Your name keeps coming up, will you come talk to us?" So after talking to my husband, party leaders, I decided to run. I am new to the world of politics, but I'm not new to the world of banking. I've been a banker for 30 years. And as a banker, I get the opportunity to sit down with my clients and look at ways to help them increase their income, decrease their expenses, and get their financial house in order. We have a $350 million estimated budget deficit. We need people in that position on the Board of Public Works that knows how to read a balance sheet and knows how to budget for money and get the state's financial house in order. And I'd like the opportunity to do that. As a banker, one of the things I've noticed is it's important to have a fresh set of eyes to look at the money and look at the way that we're doing things. So we're not always doing the same thing over and over. We've had the same guy in office for 20 years. I would appreciate the opportunity for you to check me out. West Virginia Public Radio did a recent interview with me and the incumbent. You can make an educated choice by going to their website and clicking on that link. You go to annurling.com, ANNURLING. Thank you.
Candidates, at the end of the event, you'll be given ample time to make a closing statement, and as long as you keep it within reason, we may not even put a clock on it, so we'll decide that at that point in time.
Okay, so we have several questions from the audience. Joe will go ahead.
This is for the county commission candidates. What are your plans for day one after you take office?
Thank you. That is a great question. I'm glad that you asked that. I have actually published a full and complete plan at www.joshuanelsonwv.com, and I'm the only candidate that's done that. My plan is called Blueprint for Recovery. Day one, the county commission, I'm going to advocate for an outside public audit from somebody who's never done that before, so that we can see where our money's going. Everywhere I go, people ask me questions, where has the money gone? They're right. There's been a lot of cold severance money run through these hills, and it's been spent on things that don't make any return on investment. Once we realize where that money has gone and how much money we have coming in, then and only then can we determine what expected future cash flows are going to be. When we have that, we can get a realistic look at where we are at as a county and start to move forward. So to answer your question, day one, my first priority is an outside audit. Yes, we do have audits that are done, but nobody trusts it. And it's been the same people over and over, and we need an outside look as to what our county's finances are. Thank you.
We have anyone in the audience that would like to come down and ask a question?
Hello, my name is Colin Nelson. I went to Scott High School, graduated in 2014. I'm currently a junior accounting student at Marshall University. I registered to vote in the 22nd District. My question is to Delegate Moffett, Delegate Nelson, running for Commissioner, Mr. Dedge, and Mr. Raymond specifically. West Virginia, specifically Boone County, as a nearing graduation in college, there's not much to look forward to coming back to. And that's a sad statement to make. A great influx of young people are leaving this area. What do you guys think you can do specifically to change this, to keep the people we have here and attract new people here?
That's a great question. I'm glad you asked that. So the first thing we have to do as a county, again, I'll point you to my plan, is come up with a mission and vision statement for the county. And it's not something that I'm going to come up with. That's something that the citizens of the county need to come together in a citizens action group to come up with. And why is that important? Because even in the good book, it says where there's not and I'm paraphrasing, when there's not a vision, people perish. So what are those things? Those are devices that the community decides, this is who we are as a people, this is what we want to do, and then after that, and then only after that, can you come up with a strategic plan as to how to get there. So the answer to that question is, first off, we have to decide who we are, what we want to be, what we want to do. Once we have that, then we can start to make the hard decisions about how do we achieve that. And I think it's going to take bright young people like yourself that's sitting here. I see another young man up there, I'm pretty sure he's got a 4.3 GPA, he's here, a high school senior. I want him to stay here. I want him to start businesses here. And if you go again to my plan, I hate to keep referring to that, I'm the only person that's published one that's running for county commissioner. You can see what my plans are, detail for detail, and that'll obviously be added to in the future. But that's where we start.
No, again, I think that is a really good question. As a 10th generation West Virginian, I worry every day I'm going to be the last of that group that's going to live here in West Virginia. It's important that we give West Virginians the tools that they need to succeed. But the reason that people are leaving the state is truly because they don't have opportunity. If you had an opportunity to stay right here in Boone County, I would bet that you would take it, correct? In order to give people opportunity, we have to give them the tools that they need to succeed. Looking at this as a congressman, in order to give you the tools that you need to succeed, I've got to see what I can do to help you. If you want to start a small business, I've got to look at what will it take to make your small business succeed. I think right now, everyone in this room can agree that we don't have those tools. We need infrastructure. We need bridges and roads. Parts of McDowell County still need sewers. Septic systems, things along those lines that they simply don't have. We need broadband internet. It's very, very important that you have those things. But we have to have a plan in place, and the gentleman has said that says, this is what our plan is, this is what we want. But most importantly, we need to make West Virginia a place where people want to live, where people want to come. Now, I'm from Lewisburg. And Lewisburg has been held up very, very much by its tourism industry. My father was head of the Lewisburg Foundation back in the 80s, when all the big box stores were coming in. What he did was very similar to what he was saying, was putting that plan in place to make sure that Lewisburg was a place where people wanted to live. Making sure that you have everything you need, especially good education. If people can come in, if they see a place where they can raise their kids, where they can send them to school, that would be a place that they want to be, and those are the tools that I think I can offer you from Capitol Hill.
Thank you for the question. I personally know how that feels, to graduate, come back. I wanted to start an insurance business, I wanted to sell people quality insurance and start a small business. But I came back and it just wasn't viable. Like you said, everybody's losing. But one thing we have to do is our government has to work like our people work. Okay, so you have student loan debt. You might have student debt, I don't know. But if you do, you have to pay that back. Okay, our government can run money up. They can take. But then we want to tax you. We're raising taxes on people. It's not going to help that. Infrastructure. I go down some of these hauls and some of these roads, and I'll miss business calls because I'm not in the right spot to take it. So with that, you have infrastructure, you have education. That's a big thing. Get people qualified enough to have jobs here so we can attract employers to the state. That's what it's all about. So as a delegate, I'm going to go up there, I'm going to fight for industry, I'm going to fight for college students, I'm going to fight for the whole broad spectrum of what we have here in Southern West Virginia. And I hope to bring jobs here. I really do. I'm not a guy that has a lot of promises. I have made a plan, what I'm going to do, and it's going up there and fight for you. And I think that's the best way to put it. Thank you, man.
Thank you. My background, I should have told you earlier, is in manufacturing. For 15 years in various manufacturing roles. not a native West Virginian. I'm actually quite a traveler. I've worked in numerous states. I've actually closed a plant in Massachusetts and took it to Texas, and was involved in union, non-union plants, small, large manufacturing. So I know that manufacturing really is a backbone. If you have a manufacturing plant, we have a Toyota plant in Buffalo, in Putnam County. It generates other jobs, it generates quite a few other jobs, just like coal industry did here. And we do need to get coal back. It's not going back to where it was. We all know that, and we've accepted that, and that's the harsh reality. But we do have a lot of land, we do have a lot of property. We have so much property owned by the state, we have no idea how much property we own. We've asked for audits of how much property there is, and the government can't tell us. We asked for vehicles, and finally we got a count of 8,000 vehicles after passing for 3 years. So next session, my goal is to track down how much property we have. But back to your question, we need to look at what we have, what we're spending money on, and where we can invest in our future. Everyone mentioned education. Education is very important. We're still teaching the same way we've taught for 100 years. We need to improve that. A lot of that can be improved with broadband and internet access. We don't have that in many areas, even in parts of Putnam, Lincoln, Logan, and Boone. There's parts that have great internet access and cell service, and there's parts 5 miles down the road where we have nothing. So we need to spend some money on infrastructure, but we gotta make sure we have the money to spend. The estimates are anywhere between 350 million or 500 million deficit we've got coming up. So we really have to put our priorities in order for this upcoming session and get going there. Thank you. And we do have a new candidate here, J.B. Kuski.
Yeah, we would like you to give a couple-minute opening statement, and then we'll do the questions and answers, and then at the end of the session, we'll give you another opportunity to make closing remarks.
Sure, I appreciate